Hello everyone, this is Jimmy and welcome to episode 19 of Levitated. Last time around we got our rainbow generator running and it's connected, well it's controlled by one of two things. Either we flip the lever to turn it on or we just allow our capacitor bank to sufficiently drain, which causes our power monitor to turn it on. We also used it to make one piece of rainbow stone. Now, it turns out that each piece of rainbow stone makes one rainbow ingot, and then each rainbow ingot makes one rainbow block. The rainbow blocks are what we actually make the overworld portal out of, so we need, assuming we can cut corners, we need 10. Given that, let's make the other 9. So, have at it. While we're doing this, we are basically wasting the energy that comes out of the rainbow generator because we can't store quite that much. However, we make enough to, we don't need to use every ounce of energy. Something just flew off of that. It looks like bats or something? What are those not? Oh, those are ender bites. Huh, interesting. A very angry ender bite. Alright, well anyways, I'm gonna leave this running for the next minute-ish it'll take to make the 10 total rainbow stone pieces. And here comes the last piece. 10. Alright. We can turn that off. We can see our rainbow generator turns off. Next step is to turn this rainbow stone into rainbow ingots in an arc furnace that also requires uranium. I've gotten uranium ore, but I don't actually know how to process it into uranium ingots. So I have 308 pieces. That's plenty. I guess we can just throw it in an arc furnace for that as well. Alright, do I care about any of these byproducts? Plutonium, but we can't make the oh, I guess if we process it, wait. Do we get 2 or do we get 4? Guess it's temperature based? I don't even know. Whatever, I guess I'll just make the arc furnace because we need an arc furnace anyways, and then we can use it to process our uranium ore. It does use a fair bit of energy, but I mean, energy is not a thing anymore in this pack. In addition to being quite large, the blast furnace here, or the arc furnace rather, uses quite a bit of steel. Most of its components are made out of steel in one way, shape, or form, so it's important that we have good steel production going into this. But right now our steel production is quite good. We have the sped up blast furnace making it, and that's resulted in us having about 600 steel ingots to spare. It's not quite infinite steel, but it's a lot of it. So anyways, let's follow what the projector tells you. Build a thing out. That block's red. Why is that block red? Just follow the directions, and it's just like building a Lego set. When you're done, hit the cauldron in the front, and it turns into the multi-block. So for power, you need to power at least one of these connections in the back. It uses 512 RF a tick, but it can do up to 12 operations in parallel. I just want to scan through here real quick, make sure these are all 512. Yeah, so it can use up to 12 times that at once, which is, what, like 6,000? That is less than what can be provided with a single energy connection, so technically plugging in one is enough. Anyways, out the back here is where we get the slag, and it's actually any item that goes in this slot of the recipe, this individual one. In this pack, I think it's all slag, but there's no reason you couldn't add a custom recipe that produces something else in that slot. Slag is, by and large, useless, but I guess I won't throw it all out. We'll put a trash chest there. It'll fill the chest up, and then when the chest is full, it'll trash it afterward. And then out the front is where the good stuff comes out. That's where the actual items you are making come out. So anyways, the UI here is a little bit complicated. When we look at this recipe, the left side is where you put this one item. So there's one item that goes in the left. This 2x2 of items goes into the right here. Those are, I think they're called like the additives or something. And then this side is the output. Specifically because we are trying to make rainbow ingots, we need block of uranium goes in the left side slots, and ender prescient and rainbow stone go in the right side. But first we need the electrodes. So let's see about making them. Can we make the electrodes blueprint by chance? We cannot. And there's two ways to make the electrodes themselves. You can either create them in a metal press, which gives you half durability electrodes, or you can do it in the engineer's workbench, which gives you a full durability one, but it requires a blueprint. Unfortunately, the blueprint's crafting recipe appears to be not enabled. I think it defaults to disabled. So unless we happen to have a villager to trade it with, which we don't, or find it in a blacksmith or stronghold chest, which we haven't, we're gonna have to go with the metal press one. Oh well. The electrodes have quite a bit of durability, but they do slowly wear down over time. Let's see if I can get a just didn't mean to put that back up. Here we go. So they have 48,000 durability. It uses 1 point of durability per tick that the arc furnace is active, regardless of whether or not it's processing like 1 recipe or 12. So it's most electrode efficient to process 12 recipes at once. You need all 3 in there for it to work as well. It won't work with less than that. What else? These electrodes can be enchanted with unbreaking, and in fact I get yelled at for not doing so every single time I make an arc furnace. My thought is, generally speaking, that making electrodes is quite easy. It's like 4 hop graphite ingots per, right? 12 hop graphite ingots to make a set of electrodes that lasts quite a while. Enchanting it with unbreaking, you can't just directly throw it into an enchanting table. You have to make an unbreaking book, apply it to the thing. It's actually more work than just making new electrodes. So if you've already typed in the comment box telling me to enchant my electrodes with unbreaking, you can delete it now. I've explained this again. I mean, if you want to post a comment anyways, you know, I'll happily make fun of you for it. Anyways, that lets us process our uranium. I don't actually know what uranium is used for in this pack aside from this. What mod even? What type of uranium do we get? So this distribute inputs button splits the inputs, although it doesn't do it in the most intelligent way. It just splits stacks in half until there's no more room to split stacks into. So you know, you can clearly see that this is not optimally distributed. I guess it's Tech Reborn uranium. Does Tech Reborn have like a reactor that uses it? Not that I see. Do they use the liquid? No. I'm very curious why this uranium exists, except for to make the rainbow ingot. Guess we'll never know. Maybe we'll run into more uses of uranium later. But for now, it honestly, like, even the uranium cell doesn't have a chemical reactor or any reactor recipe. There's no fission reactor in Tech Reborn as far as I could find. But whatever. The last components in the rainbow ingot are ender crystals and prescient crystals. So those require shulker souls and enderman souls. Do I have? Yeah, I just have enough shulker souls. These come from looting the end cities, so that's convenient. And then vibrant crystals, 20 of these, and I need a soul binder. Make me one of this. Oh, do I have one of each head? It requires exactly a creeper head. Interesting. How do I... Ah, we can make it. Nifty. After making the skulls, we can make our soul binder. I don't need a capacitor. Let's make 10 capacitors. These will never go to waste. And then we can take our shulkers and jam them into vibrant crystals. And then once these soul vials are freed up, I'll just go kidnap 10 endermen here in the end and jam them into the other 10 vibrant crystals. To simplify the process of batch crafting here, I just dump everything into this chest. The soul binder will automatically smart pull the items it needs from the chest, and then I put an experience obelisk here that just holds our experience. If we need more, which I presume we will, I can just eat some of this extraterrestrial matter and stash all that in there. Then the experience obelisk sends the EXP into the soul binder when it needs it, and that does the crafting. So now let's go kidnap a few endermen. Hello, enderman. For automation purposes, we can also use a spawner on capture mode to spawn Enderman into soul vials, but for now, since I only need 10, I think it's easier just to go around and borrow a few Enderman souls. Not like they were using it. Just be mindful that when you kidnap Endermen, they all have unique MBT data. It encodes stuff like, you know, where the Enderman... Well, maybe not where the Enderman was. Let's actually see what MBT data is there. Okay, there's a lot. It's basically all the information needed to respawn that exact same Enderman again. When you spawn them through the spawner in capture mode, they just have a species. They don't have any of those other tags, which makes the item stack, which makes it much easier for automation as well. But yeah, when you capture real units, you get their real data. So anyways, this is making our crystals. In just a second, it should be done with our 10 ender crystals. And number 10. Cool. So now I think we are ready to make the rainbow ingot. Or the rainbow, whatever the next step in the rainbow thing is. So this was uranium goes here, and everything else goes in those slots. And it's running. All right, so wow, we've actually used a bit more electrode durability than I thought. We're already through 7%, and technically our electrodes only start at 50%, right? So we've used up 14% of our electrodes capabilities. Additionally, it seems we're not getting the full power to this. That's kind of unexpected. Does this recipe use more energy? Ah, okay. This one uses 4,000 RF a tick. So I guess it is, given our current... Well, no, what I could do is, instead of plugging it into it with cables, I can just plug into it directly with insert energy. Yeah. We can do this, which should give it all the energy it could possibly need, and now it's fully full. Okay. But anyways, this will make our rainbow ingots with the last 5 just about to finish up. Come on, do the thing. 10 rainbow ingots. Challenge completed. Is that technically the end of the quest line here? Yeah. But we're not done with these yet. We have one more step. Right-click a Bifrost block with a rainbow ingot to turn it into a rainbow block. So for that, we need a rod of the Bifrost, which I think is quite easy to make. We have to trade some mana diamonds into dragon stones. Whee! And then do that. And then I think a Bifrost block is... We just craft this with glass. Do I have elf glass? No. Ugh. More stats. Throw this in the mana pool. Put it into mana glass. Trade the mana glass with the elves to get elf glass. And then craft this with that. Alright, so... Ooh, this stuff glows. Fancy. It's a nice looking block. Alright. And my pickaxe is not of a high enough tier to mine it. Excellent. I guess I'll have to make myself a cobalt pickaxe set. Our end pickaxe here has oh, I had a spare already. Our end pickaxe here has served us well, but it's time for an upgrade. That'll upgrade the head, and it should still leave us with 2 modifiers. Gets a little bit faster, a little bit more durability. But I want to put excavate on it. Oh look, it takes exactly 25. I wasn't sure exactly how many excavate modifiers we needed. But this gives us vein mining capabilities, so we can, you know, be gone digging creepers. But I don't know how much we'll actually use vein miner now. I mean, I guess it's like an easier way to get obsidian. Maybe. Anyways, let's go pick up these blocks with our new tool. I guess we can vein miner them. Haha. Victory. And then we can put our portal... I guess let's put our overworld portal right across from our end portal. Right down here. Oh, can't put it right across from it. I'll find room somewhere. I think we can slip it here right by our nether portal. Even it is now impossible to put corners on our portals. Very good. So it doesn't say what we light it with. I assume we light it with a flint and steel like before, but nope, we definitely don't light it with a flint and steel. And light it up with a rod of the Bifrost. It does say light it up with. Go. All right. So if we step through this portal, I expect we'll be taken to the Overworld. I also expect the Overworld to be a void world, but let's find out. Take me away. Oh, does this not have instant teleport? No, I think it does. It was just generating. All right, but it does appear like the overworld is a void world by default. So if we want to repopulate this, we have to first of all, do we get a new tab? We did. Excellent. But in order for us to repopulate this, we're going to have to bring over our infrastructure from the nether, like the block scanner and that stuff, and generate some terrain here. What I'm thinking to do this time, though, I want to leave the area immediately around here intentionally void. That way we can, like, if we build a spawner, right, we get very good rates if we build it in the void as opposed to building it near generated terrain. And we'll go a couple hundred blocks over and generate terrain somewhere else. I have a feeling that while working in the overworld, we're going to have to be flying around a lot. So perhaps it's time we actually made the angel ring for real. For that, I just need to kidnap a ghast. So if a ghast could spawn, please. When you don't want a ghast, they're just everywhere shooting at you. When you're looking for a ghast, I'm sure it'll be the last thing I ever find. Like 10 minutes for one to pop up. I see you. So we have to hurt him a little bit. But I don't want to accidentally reflect a fireball into him. And return to sender him. Why don't you hit me in midair? You're a good shot. Are you hurt enough yet? Are you hurt enough yet? About to run out of flight time. Alright, there we go. Goodbye, Flugo Tiara, with your awkward and never quite doing what I want dash. Hello, Angel Ring. Probably don't need to carry around mana anymore either, so we can put that away. I think its flight speed is the same. I mean, it's whatever creative flight speed is. So technically, it's worse because we give up the dash, and but whatever. We have unlimited flight now. We're not limited by like 30-ish seconds, maybe a minute of total flight time. So I consider that improvement. And we don't have to worry about running out of mana. Anyways, back to the overworld. Let's generate us some chunks. For power, I will bring a flux. I always forget which is which. Point. So we don't have to bring a generator or a power cell with us. From the spawn point, the portal, 300-ish meters over there, I built a small platform here thanks to the angel block letting us build in the void. So let's set up our scanners. I think the terrain scanner is what does the work. The queues stuff up, and I guess the biome scanner now, there's actually different biomes to scan for. I still don't know like why it's needed though, but whatever. I guess that block doesn't take energy either. Alright, so power it all. Very good, and turn on. I don't even know where is it generating terrain? Oh, is it generating its chunk? Wait, does this mean stop, turn off. I don't want it to generate its chunk, because if it generates, no, it'll generate around it, right? I don't know. Let's not generate its corner. We'll just start over here. Does that queue them? Turn on. Which chunk has it started? Generated that one. It definitely does not look like it queued. I need to figure out how to use this scanner queue, man. Because I don't want to have to click every single chunk. But the biome scanner does, I guess, exactly what it's advertised to do. Tells you what the biome is. Uses a fair bit of energy to do it, and the energy cost is based on distance from relative to where it is. So, 80,000 RF to scan that one. Wow, it's a Tiger Hills. Forest. Plains. Oh, I was hoping the four corners will be different. Last time I tested the queue, it worked in not in chunk coordinates, right? As shown on like the map here, but it worked in block coordinates. But I kind of want to keep all my chunks aligned with each other. So I don't actually know an easy way besides figuring out where exactly my is that stuff? Where exactly my like how I am aligned, and then input coordinates aligned with that. Ruby ore, gimme. But whatever. For now, I guess we can just manually generate chunks. I don't know how many it'll take to I don't know how many we'll actually need before we have enough of the overworld rebuilt that we can work with it. As for what exactly I'm looking for in the overworld, first of all, there's the resources that generate. So, basalt, marble, or sources of calcium. You'll be able to yada yada yada. Okay. Sort of aluminum. I'm not. That ruby, we got that. Sapphire. We'll have to look for some sapphire. Making them. You can find these on the surfaces of some underground lakes. We'll have to look for blue stones generating, and small chunks of tungsten ore lies in the bedrock layer of the overworld. After some, okay, so we're looking for some of those resources, but I am also looking for rubber trees here. So since rubber trees generate in forests and swamp biomes, and I think from our terrain scanner we saw that this bottom right hand corner is a forest. So you can stop there. You don't have to generate all the way to the top of the world. Turn on. Let's see if we can generate some rubber trees. While that goes, I kind of want to take a look down here, see if we can find some of that tungsten-y stuff. Is it down here? I don't see it. That's basalt. Huh. Nice cloud effect, though. That's fancy. I guess we probably have to generate more than one chunk to have a meaningful... Oh, wait, no. Oh, nice leaf effect, too. We can, like, hear the wind. All right, whatever. I'm after this rubber wood, and hopefully we get a couple saplings off of that. One. Good enough for now. I'm going to take some grass. I guess I have to use this tool to evade mine, huh? Or take some dirt as well, because dirt's a little bit non-trivial to make. Looking around some of our already generated chunks, I found one of these, and that's sapphire. Perfect. Take it. It's not a mob I've heard before. If we get some of the ores too, we can also make the orchid. Let's just look it up in JEI. The overworld version of the orchid produces all the overworld ores, and once again, it's probably, well, I guess there's only 4 overworld ores. It's probably easier to use the orchid than it is to try to find and automate the try to find some of these exotic ores like tungsten, although the orchid might require a little bit of tungsten to make. Let's see. Nope, just requires ruby, sapphire, and a sun crystal, and some runes. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. I'm gonna get whatever rubies or whatever sapphires I can out of this vein, and then let's look into the orchid. Another thing that comes with the overworld are standard overworld mobs. If I'm gonna snag a creeper here, we can use that to set up creeper deep mob learning. That'll be an easier way to make the TNT for our mana generation. There's some of this. Hold on. No, it's also basalt. Never mind. Nothing to see here. But we can get skeletons this way for an easier way to make, I guess, bones? What's this? A tunnel. Leads through the chunk. Back at our old home here, let's take the rubber sapling we got and add it to our tree farm. Whatever, if this double chest passes for a tree farm. But every now and then I just empty it out. So it's not automated, but it's automated enough. What I say anyways. But that'll produce, mostly I think our goal from the rubber trees is to get the rubber sap. Find it here. just sap. The sap can be turned into rubber, which is used to insulate wires. But that'll take a little bit of time for the tree to grow. So while that grows, let's look at what else we can do here. I thought about making the orchid, but then I looked at this and said, wait, we have void ore miners. Aren't void ore miners just better than the orchid? It uses a little bit of RF instead of a lot, or maybe a lot of RF, I don't know. But it uses RF instead of mana, and RF's a lot easier to produce than mana. Looking at you, Rainbow Generator. For the tier 1 void ore miner, we need these blocks here. No modifiers, but I'm not actually sure what here requires the overworld. So let's take a look. There's the miner itself, and I took a quick look at this, and nothing here screamed like has to be made. Oh, nope, here we go. The energy crystal. Okay, I clearly didn't look very hard. So let's see what it takes to make the energy crystal. This needs, I think that's used quartz cannot be used. It has to be exactly hardened signalum glass. All right, that's we can do that. But I think it's, yeah, the energy crystal requires electric circuits. For now, we have to make electric circuits in the assembler, and that requires insulating some wires. Okay, why don't we take a quick second to set up a proper-ish tree farm. It still won't be a tree farm, it'll just be a bunch of hopping bonsais, but at least we can like store their products into drawers and not double chests. Here's the world's most sophisticated tree farm. Each hopping bonsai pushes into a buffer crate, and then that all pushes into a drawer, and I just have to put a storage bus on the drawer, and then we can see everything from the applied energistic system. Let's start off with 4 types of wood or trees. That'll be mandrill, oak, wormwood, and rubber. I still need a few more rubber saplings to fill in the last of these. I think we'll do 6 rubber trees, 4 oak trees, just because I think oak is my like preferred go-to wood with just crafting stuff. A mandrill and a wormwood. Even though I'm pretty sure the wormwood is probably the most efficient tree in terms of logs per minute you get out of bonsais. But for now, I think we should have enough sap to get started. So sap can be smelted into 1 rubber, or later extracted into 3, or even later industrial centrifuge to get, I guess it's technically, no, it's more than 3 rubber per sap, but you also get, I don't even, what is the purpose of this? Complicated way of making dirt, and a way to make biofuel? Can we use biofuel for anything? Ah, there we go. We can burn it for, each millibucket gives us 24. So a whole bucket of this gives us 24,000 RF. Kind of an awful deal. Whatever. Point is, we have the sap, which can make rubber. And then rubber can be combined with copper to make copper cables. While this stuff can transfer energy, it's not particularly effective at it. 512 RF a tick. It, I don't think it has cable losses, but I literally just put that recipe in, right? But it doesn't have cable losses, but it also, unlike the conduits from Ender Isle, it can't share block space with other stuff. So we'll basically only use this as a crafting ingredient. But let's make 1 set of it just to complete the quest. Very good. All right. So from there, if the goal is to make the void ore miner, I think we have to come down here and start refining steel into refined steel. Looking at the refined steel recipes, there appear to be 2 main ways to get it. Either in a blast furnace, we can use calcium carbonate and iron or pyrite ore to make it, which is the efficient way. However, in order to make the refined or the industrial blast furnace, we're going to need refined steel. So that can't be the immediate way. I think the immediate way of making refined steel is in an arc furnace with steel, calcite, and coal. Calcite then will come from centrifugal separating marble dust. Later, we can do it more efficiently in the industrial centrifuge. That only takes 2 marble dust, but doing it in the centrifugal separator takes the full 8. So I guess first things first, let's go back to the overworld and just mine up a whole bunch of marble. I think the veins are relatively large, so that shouldn't be a problem. If I'm right in thinking that these big white-ish colored veins, yeah, are marble, then, well, I guess I was only 16. How big is this vein? There we go. That's well over a stack. So yeah, marble shouldn't be that hard to collect. And I'm just gonna go get whatever is exposed on these faces. Should be enough to at least get us started on the refined steel process. Next up, we have to take the marble and turn it into the dust form. Unfortunately, that can only be done in the grinder, which is pretty slow, 15 seconds, or a crusher. We can't do it in a pulverizer. And the grinder requires a little bit of refined steel to make. So I guess for now, we'll make it in this. This is probably faster than 50 seconds per piece, but it also doesn't accept overclockers like the grinder eventually will. So we'll probably use the grinder in the long run, but for now, this makes our marble dust slowly. All the crusher is extremely slow, and it looks like the centrifugal separator is even quite slow. The marble itself is composed almost entirely of the calcite, which is what we're after. For every 8 marble, we get 7 calcite, so it's like 90% the right stuff. And this magnesium is... who knows? Maybe it's useful for magnesium for windmills later? I've never used a Tech Reborn windmill. It's probably effectively just trash. After a fair bit of crushing and centrifuging, I think we're ready to make our first batch of refined steel. So this should do it. Yep, this will make, out of a stack and a half of steel ingots as input, it'll make 1 stack of refined steel as output. Given the... oh, it does 3 at a time. Wait. Oh yeah, that is what it's supposed to do. I suppose that means that my way of splitting the recipe isn't going to work out either, but whatever. Yeah, at this point, it doesn't make there we go. Fix that. But yeah, given the relative inefficiency of making refined steel this way, I think I'm going to try to use this batch of refined steel. We might have to make another couple batches this way to work towards making refined steel the efficient way, because doing it like this, we get not only, well, we need to get iron ore as opposed to as ingot, and we also can hey, look, our rainbow generator turned on for a second, but we get 3 ingots per ore relatively quickly without having to go through all 30,000 steps. So there's our first stack of the ingots. And I think I saw that the next quest is quite easy. I'll just do that really quick. Alright, that makes our basic machine frame. This is the key to almost all things Tech Reborn. And we'll go from there. So, unfortunately, I think that's all the time we have for today, so we'll wrap up today here. Actually, let's do one last thing really quick. Let's swap our... I'll make another pickaxe, level it up a bit just by vein mining some of the useless... oh, I can even get useful ore, I guess. But I want to get it... oh, right, I can't vein mine it without putting the vein mine enchant on it. But I want to get it to unbreakable and put fortune on it. We can use this new pickaxe in our orchid there to get iron ore as opposed to iron ingots. With vein miner, it takes no time at all to make a pickaxe that can be made unbreakable and then has a modifier left over for fortune. So this pickaxe, when we use it for our max, yeah, when we use it here in our mechanical user, in fact, we can leave both of them. I have this set to upper left slot only, so it only uses this pickaxe. It'll fortune mine anything that is fortunable, so like the coal or redstone, whatever, gets a fortune effect. But things like the regular ores, we mine and get in ore form, which we can then, now that we have access to higher tech processing, some of these ores at least might be worth processing differently for byproducts. As we saw there, like iron ore can be processed differently because that will then give us refined steel. So anyways, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.